This is disgusting. Are you on an FBI watch list? Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. Hi guys, it's Adria. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're doing a Q&A. Grab your tea. I haven't seen the questions because they were asked anonymously on this app called Not Gonna Lie. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's scary asking for anonymous questions because then you get some weird things, but I have faith in y'all. I feel like y'all are decent people. So let's just jump right in to these questions. Oh, I have a bunch. Oh, I'm scared. What are some places in the world you want to visit? You're awesome, by the way. Thank you so much. Brandon and I talked about for our honeymoon going to Japan. I've seen a lot of like Japan travel vlogs and I'm like,
I want to go to there.
Also, my family was talking about taking like a family trip to Ireland because we have like relatives from there. We also recently found a picture of my great grandmother standing at this waterfall in Ireland and we found the exact location of where that was. We wanted to go there and like see it and see where she grew up because that's kind of cool. The thing is that like ever since the panini hit, traveling kind of gives me a bit of anxiety. And also I get like issues with dizziness and feeling faint now. So I've been keeping the travel minimal and like not very long flights. The longest flight I've ever been on was when I went to Texas a few years ago, which is not even that far of a flight. So I haven't even been like to the West Coast of the US. But like I'd love to see like the 7 natural wonders of the world. I don't know, I guess I'd really just love to go to any country besides here. They have like Mario Kart racing in Japan, like street racing, and I want to do that. Can we be besties? Of course. I don't know who you are. What am I agreeing to? Is this a trap? Describe your dream day out. Oh my gosh, see, the funny thing is that that's kind of a trick question because my dream day would not be out. Gosh, if I could have just like a day with like going to like a cute cafe, going shopping and getting a bunch of clothes and getting a bunch of candles and hair, makeup all done, cutest outfit, just having fun, then going to a dog shelter and rescuing a dog. That's like the dream. I want to open a dog shelter for the old dogs because I have such a soft spot in my heart for elderly dogs. I love them. My dream day out would definitely involve dogs in some capacity. Will you get back into content for your OF page? I'm not gonna lie, haven't been super consistent with the selling of the feet. Cause the thing, you know what the thing is, y'all, is like I have such a love-hate relationship with the state of my feet. I had surgery on my toes back in 2017. So he removes both of my big toenails, disgusting, and it took years for my big toes to grow back. And the one is still like kind of wonky and he even said it might not grow back right. I have like this weird insecurity with my feet. It's so strange. Like most girls are like, oh, I'm insecure with like my arms. I'm insecure. I don't like my nose. Me, I'm insecure with my feet. You know, when you're selling like pictures of a body part that you're like super insecure about, I feel like they're gonna notice. And I feel like they're gonna be like, you're disgusting. I'm blocking you. That's my brain. Oh my gosh. This is so funny, but like, this is such a hypothetical. Y'all don't take this literally, even though I take everything literally. Brandon and I were like talking about, I'm like, what if we like did like an OnlyFans, you know? And you know, we're real like anime nerds. And I think he came up with this idea. He was like, oh, what if we did like an OnlyFans, but we were like in anime, like cosplay. I was like, oh my gosh. And we wanted to do, Krillin and Android 18 from Dragon Ball. Picture that, if you will. Hypothetically. This isn't real. There's no link in the bio. None to be found. But if there were, I'm just saying. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. Hi, mommy. Didn't you and Brandon used to have a cat? Okay, here's the story. Brandon and I found a cat, Frida, in Florida. We move up north to Pennsylvania. We're staying with my mom for a couple months while we find an apartment. So we lived there from August until November of 2018, right? And so Frida lived there with us. So then we found this apartment that I'm currently in. It was no pets. So Frida stayed at my mom's house. Yeah, that's basically the story with that. She's still around. Are you still doing OF? I feel like we kind of just answered this. Yes and no. I feel like I've definitely eased up on it. I actually had somebody that was stalking me on there, and I think it kind of scared me off of it for a while. And like Brandon was kind of like, oh, this is weird. Like there's men like following you that think they're like in love with you and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of weird. So I really pulled back from it because of that. I didn't expect all these questions like, y'all, don't beg me. Okay, fine, I'll come back. Oh, this is a good one. What would you say to your younger self? And any advice for someone in their early 20s? I do like these inner child healing exercises of like, oh, if you could go back and like hug your younger self. It's like, that's all really cute. So I think like what I would tell my younger self is to find your own light, find your own happiness, because so often I compare myself to other people. Like I should have what they have. I should have this. I should be here. I'm constantly doing that. But I think I would look my younger self right in the face, cup under her chin like this, and I would just say, you are perfect the way you are. You're not gonna be like everyone else. You're not gonna have the same life path as everybody else. People are gonna judge you. People are gonna think that you're whatever. They're gonna have their thoughts about you, and you're gonna have the thoughts about yourself. You're gonna judge yourself harshly, but you are uniquely you, and the path that you are on is your own. That was kind of... And advice for someone in their early 20s. Okay, so here I am sitting here in front of you at 29 years old. I can just say I feel so much more at peace with myself in my late 20s than I did in my early 20s. And I don't know if this is relatable, it might be. Your 20s are so exploratory. It really is like teenage years 2.0. You're not gonna have everything figured out. You don't need to have the rest of your life completely mapped out right now. In fact, I'd be scared if you did. You know, the world's kind of scary. The economy's really bad. If you're still living with your parents, like that's cool. Don't compare yourself. When my parents were my age, they already had a house, they already had kids, they were already married. Like times are so different now. Again, with the finding your own path thing, like just do you. You know, just unwind with memes. Just find memes. Don't read news and stuff. Just drown yourself in memes. I absolutely refuse to answer this because this is disgusting. I'm gonna flash it up on the screen. I might have to censor it. Not on my godly Christian channel, we're not talking about this. But I have faith in y'all. I feel like y'all are decent people. How is married life for you? I absolutely love being married. It's so funny to me, like still saying like my husband is like, what? Brandon and I just had this conversation last week. It feels so grown up, and I can't imagine if I would have got married in my early 20s. Like it feels so mature. It's strange, but then in another way, it feels oddly the same because Brandon and I have been living together since the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. But I love being married. Like I love being part of a team. Now we cook a lot together. Now we game together. Like early on in our relationship, we didn't have 2 TVs and 2 gaming consoles. Now we do. So we have that to do together. And I feel like we've just grown so together over the years, even like since COVID began and everything. Like we've just grown so much closer. And I love that for us. Who's a mutual you miss communicating with? Oh my gosh, did one of my friends ask me this? I have so many amazing mutuals on Instagram and even YouTube. My one dear friend, Colin Barry, I love him dearly. I miss him. He's the one that really stands out to me right now. But like if we follow each other, chances are I miss you because I've fallen into like this kind of depression more recently where I even find it hard to reach out to family. Like some days I'm like, oh, I should FaceTime my Nana right now. And then like something in my mind is like, no, like I'm scared. I'm afraid she's gonna ask me about how I'm doing and I'm not gonna be able to stop myself from crying. I isolate myself and I feel like my friendships and relationships kind of suffer because of that sometimes, which is hard. If we're mutuals, I love you. Just know that. Is cereal soup Are you on a FBI watch list? I guess if like we're being technical here, I guess it could be considered soup. But go to prison. Oh, this is fun. Would you consider collaborating with other YouTubers or even your viewers to discuss things like mental health, maybe as like a way to remind people they're not alone in their struggles, but also everyone reacts differently to situations, so I don't know. I'd totally be down, especially about anything in regards to mental health. Like that's always something that I'm willing to have a conversation about, so hit me up. Do you think birds are real? Are we really gonna go down this rabbit hole, besties? Yeah, I think birds are real, but also, if it flies, it spies. I can't! Your biggest fear, somebody really close to me passing away, which I know is obviously going to happen in my lifetime someday, and like, I just hate that. A few weeks ago, Brandon had to go get his tire changed, and his phone died. I didn't know how far away from home he was, and I hadn't heard from him in like an hour, and I wasn't panicking at first, but the more time was passing and I'm like cooking him dinner and I'm like looking out the window, I'm like, where is he? I started to panic and I'm like, maybe he got in a car accident. Like he did just get his tire changed. What if they didn't put it on right? What if he crashed? What if he got lost? Like, and I have such a fear of somebody close to me like being hurt or passing away. I have that a little bit for myself. I feel like I'm really afraid of myself like getting like a really, really serious illness and passing away, but like I think I'm more afraid of someone else. I also have a emetophobia, which like, I feel, it feels weird to like, I'm afraid of someone dying and I'm also afraid of throwing up. Which one am I more afraid of? I don't even know. I'm so afraid of puke. All right, my phone's running out of battery. Let's wrap her up. What was your worst day ever? Ugh, that's really hard, but I feel like around the time period that my 2 dogs got put to sleep, and it was within 5 days of each other, I was in such a low that I was like completely numb. That was bad. Yeah, so we put my mom's dog Colt to sleep, and then 5 days later, we put down my childhood dog of 15 years, Gracie, who lived with my grandmother, to sleep. And like, that was just, that was so emotionally taxing. Like, I can't even tell you. I mean, if you've put an animal to sleep, like, you know that pain. So, ugh, I almost don't even want to talk about it. Do you have any nervous habits? If so, what are they and how do you deal with them? So I have a nervous habit of picking at my nails when I'm anxious, and like both my fingernails and my toenails. And something that helps me is, first of all, I get my nails done and I do the dip powder at the nail salon, and like I could not pick this off if you paid me to. And I also have this fidget toy. It's called a Tangle toy. I'm sure you could probably find them on Amazon, but like this helps me so much, especially when I'm in therapy. Like I hold this thing the entire time. It helps me to stay focused. I feel like I always have to be doing something with my hands, so this really helps me. That's just me personally. Who's your crush? I could be boring and say my husband, but like, also, I kind of have a little thing for Brad Pitt now, and like I didn't always. He actually used to give me the ick, but then I watched Fight Club and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm like, okay. I also am like in love with almost every male character in My Hero Academia. Overhaul, Hawks, Aizawa. Oh my gosh, Mr. Compress. He was like literally my favorite one and I forgot. Whoops, just girly things. So thank you guys so much for watching this spicy Q&A today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give it a like. Leave a comment down below. What advice would you give your younger self? Do you think birds are real? What was the worst day of your life? I don't know. Let's have a conversation. I mean, just to be real with you guys, lately I've been trying to like apply myself and get back into doing things that are more productive and just feel good for the mental health TM. You know, I'm making like big life changes behind the scenes, which maybe I will talk about in the future, but like, I don't like to talk about things before they happen. Things are happening, good things are happening. I just want to thank you all for just hanging out with me, spending time with me, and even just caring about me as a person over the internet. Because I know how I feel watching YouTubers that I love, that there's people that feel that way with me. I'm like, oh, stop it. Stop it. But I really genuinely do appreciate it. And if you have any requests for videos you'd like to see in the future, let me know. I will see you guys again real soon. Until then, panda hugs. Love you guys. Bye. I just spilled the tea all over my floor. Mugs under the bed. The mug's under the bed. Get out of here. Well, isn't that fitting? Subscribe. I can't.